hopefully everyone can see the screen that says discover the exact method I used to turn £269 into £42,196 during the first 2 weeks of lockdown. Now, I hope I am sharing the correct screen, otherwise no one's going to see what I can see. Fantastic. Can you all see my picture on the screen? My beautiful picture, because at the moment I am just wearing well, I'm not wearing my pajamas, to be honest with you. Fantastic. Yes. Right, we'll get cracking. Thank you very much, Claire. You are an absolute star. I did enjoy that that talk. It made me be very motivated for this morning. Okay, so I am going to teach you today how I turned £269 into £42,196 during the first 2 weeks of lockdown. This was while working less than 2 hours a week, after I lost all of my regular freelance work in the corona crisis. Now, if you have a pen and paper handy, brilliant, please take notes because there's a lot coming. So I'm going to go quite quickly on this, hopefully. Okay, so what is this all about? Let me just move my, there we go. Right, I am technically bereft today. So in this workshop, we're going to be discussing the idea of selling physical products from an online store or website, and how you can get involved in one of the hottest, fastest trends to hit the internet, I think, since the dot-com boom. Okay, who isn't excited about that? So this workshop is for you if you want to add multiple streams of income for yourself and your family. If you, if you want to know how to create a sellable asset, here's a secret. You can build and sell online stores for a ton of cash. And if you'd like to find out how you can replace your regular income in just 2 hours a week and still have time to pursue your dream career, hint, you can automate nearly every part of this business. And if you want to learn how to start generating cash in under 3 hours for less than £5, now I did this in 2 hours and 26 minutes, spending 70 pence from a complete standing start. And if you want to build as many of these cash machines as you want and have them all run on autopilot for you, even while you're on holiday, and even if you've got your toes dipped into a pool, which I've done many times. So how many friends of yours actually earn money while they're sunbathing on the beach? Although, to be honest, COVID, blah, blah, blah. So what led me to this webinar? Okay, well, I ditched school at 16 and I ran away with a rock band, and I threw away my chance of being a classical musician. Sorry, Mum. I toured all over the world for 25 years with some of the biggest names in music as a sound engineer, which was my dream job. Then I became a single mother, and I realized that touring wasn't going to work very well with a toddler in tow, because it's a bit tricky. That's my little girl over there, by the way. And that's Mummy on the mixing desk. And then I discovered how to build online shops quickly and cheaply, which would bring me cash in times of need and still give me the freedom of pursuing my passion in sound, but on my terms and only if I wanted to. So here's what I did. Okay, so I built several successful online stores in different niches of sports and fitness, gadgets, cosplay. If anyone doesn't know what that is, that's adult fancy dress. Think Doctor Who conventions, diving, kids' toys, horses, health and wellness, all whilst working full-time and only spending a couple of hours a week maximum building these businesses. One time I made over £10,000 while I was on a plane to Barbados. Let me tell you a little tiny story about this. So my daughter and I were sitting on a plane on what happened to be Black Friday, and we were just getting off a 10-hour plane journey going on holiday to Barbados, which, by the way, at this point I hadn't bought. My friend had bought us a holiday because she'd just come into some money. So not showing off, just saying it as it is. And as we got to the top of the steps of the plane, we got held there for something or other, and I just switched my phone on, and I forgot that when I get a sale from one of my online stores, I get a ding sound. It goes ding. And it's the sound of an old-fashioned cash register, just to let me know that sale. So I'm standing there with my phone, suddenly gets a signal and the phone goes crazy. It's like ding, 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 ding. And the pilot and cabin crew were just staring at me, and I can feel the rest of the plane staring at me, and I can't turn the phone off. And I'm starting to go red, and my little girl, she was about 10 at the time, she just looks up at me with her big brown eyes in her big loud voice, and she shouts, "Is that the ding of joy, Mummy?" And the whole plane just started laughing. So that's what we call it now, the ding of joy. And you're going to get the same experience with this system. It's called the ding of joy in our house, and I can't wait for you to hear it. So my first successful store did over £90,000 in 4 weeks, with the best week at over £51,000. Now, all of this was with no products of my own, no premises, no staff, and without even touching a single item I've sold. And I've never met any of my suppliers. Now, in March, between the 20th of March and April the 5th, 2020, this was during lockdown, first 2 weeks, I did £42,196 in sales, and I only spent £269 in advertising. So the best day in recent weeks was £7,392, and it only cost me £37.36 in advertising. So best day ever. Remember, I told you about we just got off the plane. So I sat over here on the beach. That's a picture that I took with my phone. You can tell it's not particularly brilliant. And all of this was going on. I'm just going to bring my cursor over here. So this £15,000, if you look at the date, that's when I earned that cash. Well, I was sitting on that beach. And at that point, that was the turning point of all of my stores coming together and me figuring out finally how to make it work. Okay, so my best month in just one store. So this particular store made £91,685 in 4 weeks. So let me tell you about this. On the 16th of November, I was crying on the kitchen floor, trying to figure out how I could give my daughter a nice Christmas. I had no money, I had no work, and my next invoice wasn't due to be paid after Christmas. Remember I said I was sat on that plane? That's because my very generous friend had bought us that plane tickets. That was not because at that moment in time I had loads of money, okay? 16th of November, remember that date. So at this point, I'm crying on the kitchen floor, and I genuinely thought I was going to die of shame, okay? I had felt like a complete failure. I tried so many methods of making cash, and here it was, once again, failing. So you may have had a similar experience of trying multiple methods of making money and not quite making them work. And if you have, I know how frustrating that is. Anyway, there I was crying on the kitchen floor, and I thought, right, I'm going to try one more thing. And if that doesn't work, I'm done. I'm just going to accept defeat. So that was at midnight, and I hit one more button, closed the laptop, and I went to bed. Now, at 7 a.m. the next morning, I heard this noise. Ding, ding, ding. That's right, the ding of joy, if you remember that. Okay, my phone goes ding. If you look at that screenshot, you can see that that avalanche of sales started on the 17th of November. Okay, and all it took was one button press, and our lives changed forever. And that's how simple it is, or how simple it can be for you guys. Now, I've been through all of the pain of finding a method which works so that you don't have to. So even during lockdown, sales rocketed. In the first 2 weeks of lockdown, it brought in £42,234.19. So in one day alone, this tiny little online store in a tiny little niche brought in £7,392. So if you've got winning products in multiple stores, you could all go on holiday without COVID a lot more often. Okay, now I need a holiday right now. Don't know if anybody else does, but you'd have the cash to do it. So what does the recent growth in online sales mean for you right now? Okay, well, this means that we've all been shopping online a lot more, okay? And customers want a better experience right now, because having to sift through thousands of similar items on Amazon and eBay is tedious, and it can get boring, and information overload and too much choice can turn people off. Now, just remember this bit because it's going to be relevant in a couple of slides' time. So this is what I do. I teach people how to build a niche boutique store. And this is exactly what drove me to build my first successful store. I was, as a mum of an athlete, always scouring eBay, Amazon, and a ton of other websites for every single birthday and Christmas. So I decided that if I put together a niche shop, perhaps other parents would prefer to shop here than go through the trauma of wading through the bigger platforms. You've probably all done it yourselves. So Building a niche boutique store, which is what we teach, gives you a real chance to carve out a slice of the market for yourself without competing directly with the big platforms, okay? So you can create a better shopping experience with a niche store. And let me tell you something now, most people don't realize that you can compete other than on price, okay? I'm going to show you how in a second. But why should you get involved with online stores right now? Okay, well, this Christmas is the perfect time to get going because Charged Retail reports that UK online retail sales reached 10 billion in the month of July 2021. Okay, so a few months ago. This was an all-time new record for July sales. So this online shopping thing isn't going away anytime soon. Okay. A recent Adobe survey indicated that as many as 40% of shoppers are still avoiding shopping in brick and mortar environments, even though restrictions have lifted. And a further 56% said they would avoid high street settings completely and in an attempt to elude infection. So if people are avoiding high streets, where are they shopping? I wonder. So for me, I think you are in the best place possible to start an online store because I think a perfect store is coming this Christmas. So people are avoiding crowds in busy shopping areas. People are enjoying browsing for gifts without leaving the house. And you know what? The convenience of delivery versus paying for parking, battling the weather, and possibly catching COVID and all the hassle of self-isolating means that if you want to get going on this journey, I think this winter is the perfect time to start. Simply because people are going to avoid these big crowds in the shopping centres, and most people have realised what a hassle going into town, parking, battling with traffic is. So why would you want to sell physical products? Okay, well, for me, it's to build an extra easy to run income stream. You can sell completely different goods in a completely different niche to the one you're now known for now. Now, I know a lot of you have different businesses. A lot of you are just starting up a business, and a lot of you maybe think maybe in the kind of online course or the coaching niche. And if you've already got an online presence, if you're a coach or business owner, you can go into a completely different niche fairly anonymously. And what I mean by this is that having online stores doesn't involve you getting your family, friends, or clients involved. Okay. So you're selling to the public, but the public don't need to know about your social media presence, your online presence. If you're a coach, they don't need to know any of that, so they don't see it. So you can keep your identity separate. I've actually set up stores for a few well-known musicians and actors to produce a new form of income for them without it impacting on their public-facing image. So if you already have a public-facing image, this is a good way of producing extra income without it going over the top of those efforts. And also you can quickly use current trends to pivot your offering and profit from the latest products in the marketplace. So if you see something if you see a repeating Facebook advert, well, you know that that item that they're selling on Facebook is probably making them a lot of money because that's why people keep advertising. So you can use that knowledge of how to get this going and either sell the same product or find a similar product to sell as well. So what could you sell? Okay, so you can sell your own products, obviously, books, printed material. You can sell merchandise, t-shirts, gift items, inspirational items. So if you've already got an online presence, you could add a store to bring extra income directly from that online presence. You could have a hybrid store, so downloadable courses, events, and physical items. I've used this technique to sell all manner of things. I mean, I've used it to sell everything. Or if you don't have a product to sell yet, but you'd like to get started quickly, you could sell other people's products, okay? OPP for short. So the advantages of selling other people's products: you have an instant source of products. There are no research, no development, and no writing time for these products. So you're creating your own courses and your own content. It takes time and effort. However, if you can find other people's products to sell, it takes a lot less time. So that means you can get sales a lot faster, okay? Now, most people, when they've created a product, they have ready-made sales material and photos and videos that you can use, okay? And there are thousands and thousands of products and suppliers for you to choose from. I'm going to show you where in just a second. Now, it's also a shortcut to a flexible, easy to manage income stream with a quick setup time and the ability to automate most tasks. So there are two ways of selling other people's products. Okay, you can buy items from a wholesaler or a distributor or a supplier. You could store them at a physical location, so you could store them in your garage if you wanted, or you could send them out to customers. And where you could send them out to customers, so it could be a home, garage, warehouse, or retail store, or you could find a supplier who can ship out products for you. This is the way that I do it, without you having to stock them, and then send them to your customer when you make a sale. This is called dropshipping. Now, dropshipping is a widely used selling method. It's been around for quite some time, and it's an established business model for thousands of businesses. It's not just a trend that people are jumping on, okay? Your favorite online platforms are already using this way of selling. Who wants to see who already uses the dropship business model? Anybody in the chat? Anyone want to see that? I'm looking for answers. Okay, so who uses dropshipping? All of these platforms use dropshipping as their business model. Okay, so eBay uses dropshipping, Amazon uses dropshipping, Etsy, all of these platforms are actually using dropshipping as their main business model. Okay, the exception is Amazon. It also has its own products, but all of the rest of these people, even Tesco online, I'm not sure if it exists anymore, but Tesco used to have an online version where you could actually upload your products and sell them via the Tesco website. Okay, so all of these places already use drop shipping. So what is it? So this is where a supplier sends product directly to your customers. Okay, you do not need to buy the product until you get the sale, and I have a no touch policy on this. Okay, if I have to touch a single item that I sell, I don't sell it, because this means that even if I am in, I don't know, the Bahamas with my feet in the sea, I can still make sales. I don't have to nip out to the post office to post them. Okay, so I don't touch any of my products. I don't have any inventory to stock. There's no premises needed, and there's no staff costs. This is the biggest benefit in my estimation. Okay, so here's a case study. This is how Amazon actually works, right? If you've never thought about it before, the Amazon platform consists of thousands of sellers. So you may already have tried selling on Amazon yourself, okay? Amazon is simply showing you other people's products. It doesn't own all of the products it sells, even the ones in its warehouses. Customers browse through the Amazon platform, pay for all the goods with one card purchase, and then Amazon either sends the goods from their own warehouse, if the seller is using Amazon's fulfillment centers to store the goods, or the goods are stored by Amazon but not actually owned by Amazon. So they either send the goods from their own warehouse, or if the goods aren't stored at an Amazon warehouse, the seller of the goods gets notified of a sale, and then they will send the goods to the customer. Okay, so Amazon is just passing on that sale to the seller, and that seller is sending out the goods. Yeah, everybody get that? Okay, so Amazon is simply the middle, and I'm going to say woman or man if you're a man, whatever. Amazon is simply the middle person. So Amazon takes the order and receives the customer's money. Amazon then passes on the customer details to the seller, the supplier of the goods. The seller sends the item directly to the customer, and Amazon passes on the money from the sale minus the fee they charge to the seller, which is a percentage of the sale. Okay, are we all with us? Yeah, so Amazon's just the middle person. So all of these companies operate in a similar way. If you go on any of their websites, okay, I think the vast majority of everything sold on these websites are not actually goods that are owned by the websites. They are simply passing the order on to a supplier. So what does this mean? Why would you bother building your own store rather than sell on Amazon or eBay or other marketplaces? Well, selling on any platform gives you no control over the sales or advertising process. Now, if you're just starting out, it's very difficult to win customers on these platforms, okay? You're competing with every other seller on the platform, and usually you're competing on price. There's also lots of fees to pay, upfront costs for the goods, and you don't own the customer list, Okay, you might know where the customer lives, but you don't have their email addresses. And as we all know, probably by now on here, the money is in the list. Okay, so if we go to Amazon, for instance, and I type in black umbrella, okay, so you can see here, I've typed in black umbrella, I get a list of 40,000 results for black umbrella. So what does this mean? If I go and search for something on Amazon, I have got to wade through a ton of different items. So something like black umbrella, there are 40,000 results for black umbrella. How do I choose? How do I choose which black umbrella? Do I choose by price? Do I choose by, I don't know, reviews? There's 44,000 reviews there. So if you're a newcomer to Amazon, you've got to jump through quite a few hoops to get your product listed at the top of the page. And guess what? As we know with Google, most of the people who buy on Amazon are going to go for the top of the page results. Okay, so how do you start even with Amazon to get a top of the page result if you have no reviews, if you have you just got on there and you can't provide the cheapest item? It's virtually impossible. Okay, now if I type into Google black umbrella, okay, look what comes up. Right, can you see this line of pictures at the top here? Okay, this line of pictures here, all those are Google shopping ads, and you can advertise there. So if I wanted to buy a black umbrella today, okay, I might start my search on Google black umbrella, and I go, oh, right, okay, so I've given an option here of all of these different ads. Now, because it's the world's largest search engine, a lot of people start with Google for their searches. They don't necessarily go straight for Amazon. Okay. So if I see any of these black umbrellas and maybe one of them takes my fantasy, okay, and I go, okay, right, let's have a look. Oh, sorry. Okay, I might go that one there, Oriental Black Wedding Pagoda Umbrella. That takes my fancy. So I might click on there, and if the price is right, all the terms and conditions are right, I might just press yes, I'll have that one, please. So I might just buy it. So can you see how much less competition there is on somewhere like Google Shopping? Okay, I can scroll along here, and I think it gave me about 20 results. It didn't give me 40,000 results. Okay, now in my courses, I teach people how to get here. Okay, I teach you how to get to the #1 spot on here. So do you think if you could show your items on Google, you might get a few sales? Okay, there's so much less competition, and Google Shopping is one of the most powerful tools you can use to advertise. And it's so much quicker than Amazon to get to the top spot. It will cost you less too, I reckon. So I'm hoping you're just beginning to see the beauty of owning your own store. You're not going to have to compete with 40,000 others on the same platform. So how can you use the same model as Amazon for your business? Okay, well, you want to find suppliers willing to dropship for you. Okay, then you're going to advertise your products or store. Yeah, and then you're going to make sales. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you will. And then you're going to fulfill the orders. And this means simply that you're going to send the order details to the supplier, and then you're going to let them send the items to your customer. So this means you don't have to buy anything up front, and it's the cheapest, quickest way to get started with an online store. Okay, so this is how it works. I just want to get this into your head because a lot of people kind of struggle with the idea of, well, how does it all work? So a customer places an order. Okay, and you're going to hear the ding of joy. Then you go to your computer and you're going to place an order with your supplier, and then your supplier is going to send the order directly to the customer. Okay, so you don't touch anything, you don't touch a single item. All your job is to do is to find those items, advertise them, and then get the sale and send them directly to your customer. And I teach all of this, and it's all fairly simple because even I understand it and I'm not that technical. Okay, so how do you make money with dropshipping? So it's the same as every other retail business. If you find the products that you want to sell and you sell them for a higher price than you bought them, okay, then the difference in price between the price you paid your supplier and the price your customer paid you is your profit. Okay, it's exactly the same as any other retail business. There's no magical fantasy unicorns involved. Okay. But how do I find suppliers? Right, so there are many small, medium and large business owners who want to do business with you. Why? because they want to make more sales, because more sales for them equals more profit. Now, the people that you deal with may not have any knowledge of marketing, okay? So they might be smaller companies just starting out. There might be bigger companies who want a new supplier for them because, you know, it just brings in more sales. They may lack the skills to get their products out to a wider audience. They may be selling to a different target audience, okay? And you can sell to a completely different audience than they usually deal with. They might not have their own website, and they need your help to sell more goods. And in return, you get to pick and choose the products that are relevant to your store. Now, why would they want to do business with me anyway? Okay, so I get this question all the time. Many businesses don't have huge distribution networks, and they only sell through a small number of outlets. Okay, so they might want the extra exposure that you can offer them because they just don't have time to market their goods. They're mostly concerned with manufacturing and producing goods and not marketing them directly to your customers. And you're going to be an amazing marketer after doing any of these courses, okay? So even after a few sales, even a few sales extra for these businesses can help spread the word for them. And you would be very surprised how willing people are to help you on your journey, no matter how small you are, okay? I've had this experience myself. Did you know if you build an online store, not only can you make money by selling the products in it, but you can also sell the store. Okay, so we have a few different ways of using these skills. Every store you build is an asset which can be sold like any other business. So you can build your store up and then you can sell it. Okay, there's a dedicated marketplace, especially for buying and selling online stores. And if you learn how to build online stores, you can also sell that skill to other business owners who need help building a store. It's similar to the very first website builders, okay? Remember when everybody wanted a website and you had to pay a lot of money to get a website built because nobody had that knowledge, okay? So you can actually command high prices right now to build other people's stores. I'm going to show you some students at the end of this who actually did this. So who should build an online store? Okay, so if you're thinking, it's not for me, I'm not technical, I don't know how to do this, it's absolutely fine. I'm the least technical person when it comes to computers, okay? So don't worry. And there's no age thing here. I've got an 84-year-old on my course. I've got lots of over 60s, lots of under 30s. I've got lots of people from all ages and all backgrounds who are building online stores. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Here's a single mum, how a single mum makes a full-time living with a Shopify store. So, you know, single mums are having success, me being one of them. There you are. There's an 84-year-old grandmother who is selling her online courses. Okay, this is another way of selling online, and virtually any service or product can be sold online, of course, using the methods I teach. And, you know, we do have an 84-year-old on the course at the moment. Here's a 17-year-old who's paying his way through college. He's a swimmer. And by selling watches, he now has a $13,500 a month business. Okay, the watches he doesn't buy, he doesn't make or manufacture. He just finds them and sells them online. And this lady here, she's in India, and when she was a travel consultant, she had a business wiped out overnight when COVID hit, and now she started an online tea selling store. So really, there are no barriers to entry here. And everybody should have an online store, in my opinion. Anyone can do it. So how do we even start this? Well, there are just 3 steps. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the 3 steps, which I call the 3 Ps. Okay, so step number 1 is going to show you where you can find hundreds of products to sell. Now, make sure you got a pen and paper handy because you need to start taking notes for this one. Number 2 is, step 2 is people. So I'm going to show you exactly how to figure out who to sell to. This is going to save you a ton of time and money doing it the right way. Number 3 is promotion. I'm going to reveal to you my secret formula for getting this most amount of advertising bang for your buck. If you get this right, you could see a phenomenal growth in your sales, okay? So step number 1, products overview. What exactly can you sell? Which product should I sell? Where do I find products to sell? So finding suppliers. Drop shipping, what is it and how does it work? We kind of dealt with that already, didn't we? How do I build an online shop? Oh, sorry, there we go. I thought there was another one. How do I build an online shop? So let's go into, first of all, step number one, which niche should I go into? Okay. Now, why would you choose a niche? Well, if you want to build a brand, which I'd recommend everybody tries to, you must choose a niche, right? A niche store is way easier to get started than a general store because it's cheaper to advertise. Okay. So if I describe people trying to advertise general stores as you throw spaghetti at a wall. Okay. If you throw spaghetti at a wall, some of it will stick. However, if you want spaghetti specifically to stick to the wall, you need to use the right glue. So if you have a niche store, okay, and you're advertising to a little segment of people, it's a lot less expensive than if you were advertising to the vast general population. Okay, so Coca-Cola, good example, they advertise to everybody. Their marketing budgets are massive. They are huge, 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 because they're trying to appeal to everybody. Okay. If they were trying to appeal to one tiny section of the population, they wouldn't have to spend as much because they would be throwing all of their money at a very small slice of the population. Okay, so it's way cheaper to advertise if you choose a niche, and it appeals to a group of customers who will want to return to buy more. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Great niches for online shops. Okay. So health and fitness, that's a brilliant one. Okay, we've all got a little bit fitter, hopefully, during COVID. Health and fitness is always good. We have got pets. Pets are always a perpetual good niche to go into. Okay, most of us own pets in the UK and we love to spend money on our pets. We have got gadgets. Gadgets are great. Okay, just remember to narrow that niche a little bit and go for things like you could do music gadgets or kitchen gadgets. And I'll talk about narrowing that niche a little bit later on. We've also got home and garden. I've got quite a few students who've done home and garden niches. In fact, one of them sells those watering cans. That's where I nicked the picture from. We have things like hobbies. Okay, now people have got vast and different hobbies. So you've probably got a hobby, or maybe your kids have got a hobby. Any of these niches are brilliant to get into because people are always trying to buy more things for their hobbies. Okay, so fishing there. We've got crafts. We've even got a railway model builder in our midst, and he sells things for model railways. There you go. So sports, that's another great one. Okay, hang on a second. I've just lost my way. 2 secs. So yeah, sports is another great one. And we've got, oh, I've just lost my clicker. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, sports is a great one. So any of these niches are great to get into because people want to buy lots of stuff within these niches, right? Hang on a second, I've just lost that bit there. So let's have a quick recap, just so you've got it there. Health and fitness, write these down if you can, or take a screenshot of them because they're really good to get you started. Health and fitness, pets, gadgets, home and garden, hobbies, sports, crafts are really good as well. Has anybody got crafts in there? I'm sure there's some crafters amongst us today. So the beauty of small niches. Okay, so the tiniest niches sometimes are the most lucrative. Okay, and nobody's going to teach you this. So this is going to give you a head start on 99% of online shops out there. If you can have a good looking shop in a little niche with lots of nice things in there, you will win big time. Okay, so you can dominate your market with a really good looking shop. Okay, most little niches have the most ugly shops. And I am actually going to say this again, and you should definitely write it down. Okay, most small niches have the most ugly shops, right? So you can build a beautiful looking store easily with the tools I'm going to show you. Okay, your marketing and advertising is much cheaper if you target a smaller group of people. Okay, now have a look at this shop. So this is a fly fishing tackle shop. I'm showing you this because I want you to understand how you could, just with shop design alone, dominate your niche. So this fly fishing tackle, oh, I haven't got my teeth in today, fly fishing tackle shop. This is one of the biggest stores in fly fishing in the UK. Okay, they've been going for years and years and years, and I don't think they've ever updated their website, but they're making sales all of the time. Okay, so who agrees here that this isn't the most appealing shop you've ever seen? I mean, for me, looking at this shop, it just gives me a headache instantly. Okay, so who who agrees with me? It is an ugly, ugly shop. Yeah, right. Who wants to see a better version of this shop? Right. This one exactly sells exactly the same things as the other shop. Who would rather shop here? Look how clean it is and how nicely it is laid out. Okay, it looks way more professional than the other one. Okay, let me just show you. Yeah, here's another slide. So they've got these products. So it's nice and clean. You can see what you're buying and it's not too crowded, is it? Okay, they've got some nice pictures on there. And oh, not that one. Okay, I'm just going to go back a slide. So yeah, they've got some nice pictures. It's nicely laid out. So can you see what I mean about being able to kind of dominate your niche if it's a really ugly set of stores that you're dealing with? Yeah. So I think you'll all agree that that's a better one. So providing a better shopping experience, you could take a slice of the market even if the other stores are more established. So genuinely, this one piece of advice is something nobody else will teach you. It's exactly the kind of store that I teach you how to build. In fact, this store is built on the same platform that we use. Okay, now, this is just something I want to touch on. Can you see this website? Okay, Armfield Fly Fishery. Right now, this is telling you, okay, that they have a shop. See this tackle shop here? Okay, so our tackle shop is stocked with everything you need. So if I am going to go and look at Armfield Fly Fishery, and it comes quite high up on Google, okay, they go, okay, well, we've got a shop. Except it isn't, is it? It's not an online shop. This is telling you that they've got a store at the fishery, okay? Now, once you've learned to build these websites, you can easily start building stores for other people. And I've now got 2 students who've changed their careers to become store builders for other businesses, okay? So who here thinks that a skill like this would be worth having? Yeah. Most small businesses just don't have the time or resources to build a store like this, but they will happily pay you good money to do it. So those students I've taught sold their first stores for £500 to £1,500. And I personally charge around £3,000 per store minimum. And so that's another source of income to you. I just wanted to show you, what you could do is go and search a whole heap of ugly little stores like this and offer to build their websites for them. And I think 9 times out of 10, you would get your arm bitten off. Okay, so just one more thing for you to have a think about. So how do I set up an online store? Okay, well, I use Shopify. Okay, so Shopify, what is it? It's a platform where you can build your own online stores cheaply and easily, more importantly, okay? It's an easy and intuitive platform. It's cheap to set up and run. You get a free trial. There's lots of nice themes for a great looking store. And it's the most widely used platform in the world. And they've got great customer service. It's all you need for a successful business. Okay, who's excited? So I think it was, when is this from? November 28th. So it is Black Friday. That's the word I'm looking for. Last Black Friday, over $1 billion was sold, okay, which is the collective power of Shopify merchants. Right, so this is actually 2017. I think it was something like, it was getting on for $2 million was sold last Black Friday, Cyber Monday, on the Shopify platform. Okay, so what this means is you're actually, if you start with Shopify, you're in the right place. Okay, you can build and scale massive stores with Shopify, and it is actually all you need to run your business. So what does a Shopify store look like? Okay, so let's have a quick look. This is Colourpop. This is usually consistently the #1 store on the Shopify platform. Okay, when I say platform, it's a website builder. Okay, let's not get confused here. You build your website and you have a completely independent store. Now, Colourpop use Shopify platform to build their store, and they have made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they simply sell, you see the makeup skincare and body products. Okay, and they started out as a drop shipping store. I think they still do drop shipping, but now they get things manufactured for them. Okay, who remembers SodaStream? Okay, well, I've got a new SodaStream, beautiful. This is the SodaStream website, and it too is sitting on the Shopify platform. So it's not just little tiny shops that sit on there, they're quite massive, some of these shops. Urban Way Collective, this is an Australian business that they were my students, and they set up a store to get people to go commuting on anything but a car. So they sell things like bikes, e-scooters. I think they still do roller skates, which I was going to buy. And that's the kind of thing that they set out to do. This is another one of our students. So they set out and they decided that they wanted to have a store selling unicorn items. Okay, so it just sells everything unicorn. They sell loads of different things. And that's going quite well. And TBGBs, that's another student of ours. She decided that she loved tea. I love the name, basically. She's called herself TBGBs, and she loves tea, so she sells everything tea. So really, you can sell absolutely anything on Shopify. It is a brilliant platform to get started on. So let's go to step 2, because time's cracking on. People overview. Right, so we're going to find your target market or audience. Where do they currently shop? Get to know your market, okay, and who are your competitors. So find your audience. So this is where it gets interesting, and we get to play a game of imagine. Okay, we're always going to have fun building shops. So we're going to figure out who it is that we think is going to buy our products. Now we can do this by using our knowledge of the niche that we're in. Okay, this is why it pays to build a store based on an interest or passion. So we're going to build a store which is going to be a place that you'd like to shop in. So here's an example from one of my stores. I have a shop in the sports niche, and my customers are mums aged between 34 and 56 who are buying mostly for birthdays and Christmases. Okay, now I know these figures because I've done it for quite a while and I know how to figure it all out, okay, which I can show you, no problem. So, you know, vaguely, if I decided my mums were going to be between 25 and 60, I wouldn't be doing too badly. So this shop serves them by offering birthday bundles and things like Christmas stockings, okay, so that they don't have to think too much, because mums are busy people, as we all know. So I make the store easy and quick to navigate, and I don't put too much lengthy text on there, just the key important things about the products. Okay, so this is what I mean about knowing your audience. If you're going after busy mums, you need to make your site quick and easy to navigate and give them things to help out. Okay, now, who remembers these guys, or who knows of these guys? Who's heard of Gymshark? It's not a very good picture, actually, but these people are called Gymshark. Now, they also use the Shopify platform, and they're a sports clothing brand started by two brothers in Birmingham who recently received a valuation of $1.3 billion. Okay, now they started in 2012 by making clothing with their branding, taught by their grandmother in the kitchen. And I just wanted to mention this because they have a very defined customer audience, which they do not deviate from. Okay, so here's a quote from Forbes magazine. Gymshark has a clear target audience of 18 to 25-year-olds whose lives revolve around fitness, fashion, and music. They do not deviate from the audience, and everything they do is aimed at their needs. Customers are looked after. So there's a massive clue, okay? So if you can define your audience and look after their needs, you're going to be successful, okay? So this has enabled them to build a huge fan base very quickly. In fact, if they'd known about dropshipping when they first started, rather than having to make the clothing themselves, I think they'd have got there even more quickly. What they sell is not unique, but by defining their customer, they can spend their time servicing their needs much more efficiently. Okay. Oh, lost my clicker again. So where do your customers currently shop? Well, most of them are going to shop online. Hooray. Which are the most popular stores online right now for your niche? So go and have a look at the top stores in your niche. You need to get to know your competitors. You need to know what they sell and how they sell it, okay, and copy them. Basically, that's how I started out. What's the biggest selling product? Okay, And I'm going to show you why in a minute. It's vitally important that you understand your competitors and why it will make such a massive difference to your success. So, are there any products which the top store in this niche does not sell currently, but other shops do? Okay, so if you can find a gap in the market, this is your own little gold mine. So I call this mind the gap, and I've got a great strategy for finding that gap. Okay. Now, I think in the past, people have struggled in e-commerce because they've just concentrated on one or two little products. You might have seen courses for the one-page website where they just sell the one product, okay? But you can have a store with hundreds of products. And this is my favorite kind of shop to have, because usually you're making people who are interested in that niche the happiest, okay? If they know you've got loads of interesting things for them, they'll keep coming back. Okay, so having repeat customers is going to make a massive difference to your profit margins. But if you can get a customer to make a repeat purchase without spending money on advertising, okay, by building an email list of customers, it's going to make life much easier for you. And this is why I avoid building large random shops full of unrelated things. You've probably seen these stores. They're the things that are cheap as chips. They're going to take 6 weeks to get to you because everything's coming from China. And basically the whole experience just leaves you a bit lacking, really. So this is the way most people will teach e-commerce, but I've tried both ways, okay? So I've tried both ways. I've tried the random store and the niche store, and the niche store is the easiest and best for long-term success, okay? Trust me on this one. So promotion. Reach people wherever they hang out, okay? So we're going to find out, we do step 1 is your products, step 2 is your people who, step 3 is your promotion, okay? So there's only 3 steps. Promotion is where you're going to start selling and advertising. So you're going to reach people wherever they hang out. We are going to look at the pros and cons of free advertising versus paid, okay? And social media, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And paid advertising with Google and Bing, etc. Okay. So where does your audience currently hang out? Okay, so let's think of an audience. Say we think of, just trying to think, someone who does weightlifting, okay, randomly. Are all the weightlifters looking at Instagram? Are they on Facebook groups? Do they go and peruse YouTube? Are they TikTokers? Probably not. And are they Pinteresters? Okay, so if you can understand your audience, and if you're part of that audience, you'll know where you go for information. Okay, so here's an example. Facebook groups. If you can join as many as possible and learn what members in those groups go crazy for, you're probably a member of them already. You'll know that the people in those groups will take notice of something you've said. Okay, so you can answer questions. You can get in there, answer questions. The other thing is, as well as with Facebook groups, I'm a member of a few different niche interest Facebook groups, and there's even little businesses that sell purely within those groups. Okay, now they don't have a website, they don't even have an eBay listing. So do you think if you had a nice looking shop with some really nice products, that people from those groups might be interested in buying from you? Of course they would. Okay, so if you think you could sell something in a Facebook group, put your hand up, tell me. Okay, oh, he has just said I had one of those stores. Right, so also Facebook groups are free to join. Now, if you don't know how to join a Facebook group, ask your kids, ask your grandkids, grab a teenager, ask them. Join things like forums. Get on TikTok. TikTok is an amazing place to be able to sell things at the moment because there's virtually no competition. Okay, you might not be a TikToker, and it's not all about doing TikTok dances. I've discovered this because my teenagers taught me. So, but all of these places can give you free traffic sources that you can you can use, get your teeth in, right now to bring in sales. So here's the pros and cons of free advertising versus paid advertising. So organic traffic versus paid, there's advantages and disadvantages to both, okay? Free advertising, when we're talking about word of mouth and recommendations and people linking to your site and using Facebook groups, of course, and any of the free social media apps. You can do paid traffic, which is very fast, easy to test out, and a cheap way of seeing if something is working, and it's scalable, okay? Once you know something is working, you simply increase your budget to increase sales. So you can test it very cheaply. I only ever test with £3. That's all I ever spend, okay? So, one of the other things I was going to say was, if you can understand, okay, why you'd use a certain advertising platform for one type of product and a different one for a different type of product, you could literally halve your advertising costs. So understanding when you use free advertising and when you use paid advertising, okay, is going to cost you less money. And I show you all of this in the courses I do. So understanding those different ways of using advertising is really essential. Okay, you do use both, but to get traction in this now, it's a lot easier to use paid advertising. I'll show you why. So free traffic sources. So I'm going to show you now, if you've got basic photo editing skills, okay, and you can create simple visual adverts, you could use free traffic sources and create simple posts on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Okay, so you can do this free with free traffic sources. You can also get organic traffic from these sources that can build your social media presence over time, and it's not going to cost you any advertising money. So you could also create offers for places like Groupon and Voucher, which, although it's not going to cost you any money up front, it's going to cost you a percentage of the sale, but still great way to build up exposure to your brand. Okay, you can use Facebook Marketplace and places like Gumtree. Okay, you could also create a press pack to send out to local newspapers or magazines and newsletters to get your store out there, although I'd highly recommend doing a good PR course to understand the best ways of doing this. Okay, there is a right and a wrong way. So free traffic sources, here's some examples of adverts that you could use to drive traffic to your store. Okay, so we've got, see, these are quite simple adverts. Okay, if you know how to use Canvas, for instance, and I show people on the courses how to use Canva, you can do so. You knock something like this up quite quickly. Okay, this is just a picture from the person who's selling this item. Okay, so if you've got product pictures from your suppliers, you can use those as simple adverts. Okay, this is a Mother's Day guide. I think this was on Pinterest, just to show you how with a very small amount of effort you can create lovely little things that you can post on your social media. Okay, and as I say, you know, most of the time the supplier of your products will have great photos you can use. So in my opinion, the trouble with free and organic traffic is it's slow to get going. Okay, you have to try and build up a following if you're using social media so that you can advertise directly to your audience. So it can be time consuming and take a long time to build. You have no real control of who gets to see your posts right at the beginning. It's brilliant if they go viral, but getting to that point can take years of hard work, and your niche may not be a great fit for some of the social media platforms. Okay, how, for instance, would you go about advertising a black umbrella on Instagram? It's not the greatest of things to advertise, is it? So some things are not that, you know, some things we can't use social media to advertise because they're just not suitable, but we could use it for Google ads. Okay, like you saw, the black umbrella on Google ads would sell, and it would show you how to get to that #1 spot very easily. So that's, in my opinion, the trouble with free organic traffic. It's slow and it takes time. Okay, paid traffic equals quicker results. So if we are using free traffic, it's great, but not reliable enough at the beginning to bring consistent sales. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for life-changing here, aren't we? You know, we might be looking for part-time income, but me personally, I wanted to change my life and find something that would do that for me. And this is the vehicle that I've been using. So you can use paid traffic, which is much more effective to get started with. And paid traffic, like I said before, can cost very little to start with. £3 a day is how I test an advert. Okay, that's 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of good coffee, but 1 cup of coffee, or up north, probably about £2.50. Paid traffic can be scaled easily. So if you've got a converting advert, which means that advert is bringing you sales, you can simply pay more money to get it seen by more people. It's dead simple. Knowing which traffic source to use for different types of product is key. So this is something we teach in depth in our courses and can make a huge difference to your advertising spend and the results you get. Okay, so as we said, you couldn't really use a Facebook advert to advertise a black umbrella. Okay, it's not the kind of thing you do. Okay, so I teach you the difference between using different platforms. So some platforms will suit different products, and other platforms you use for different things. So within your store, you would use different methods of advertising for your different products. And there's a section on my course called the thrillers and fillers, and I teach you why it's important to have both in your store. So here's examples of paid traffic sources that you could go out and use. So we've got Facebook and Instagram ads. We're probably all familiar with that, possibly. Okay. We've got Pinterest. Pinterest is an interesting one. So Pinterest is, you can use Pinterest to advertise. Okay. You can use YouTube ads. You can advertise on YouTube. Okay. Not just making videos for YouTube. You can actually use YouTube for ads. Okay, you can use Google display ads, which are really good. There's some smart display ads that are very, very useful for your store. You can use Google search, okay, if you want to advertise your actual store rather than the simple products inside it. Google shopping. So you've just seen, remember the black umbrella adverts at the top of the page, okay, that's Google shopping. Not many people teach you how to do Google shopping, but I do, because I think it's a very important part of your advertising mix. TikTok ads, okay, you can do some really simple TikTok ads that take 5 minutes, and then you can stick them out on TikTok. No, it's not all about dancing. And TikTok ads at the moment, because I'm part of their they've got a Shopify group that uses TikTok ads, and we get all of the latest information. They convert at something like 39%, which is enormous. So I advise getting your TikTok boots on. Bing's another good one. And also you can advertise on comparison websites, okay, things like that. And use all of these different things. I use a mixture of different things, okay? And on the courses I teach you a mixture of things, because I think it's important. You can't just go and advertise everything you own on Facebook ads. You'll just lose a ton of money. Most of the time, people lose money on Facebook ads because they don't test small, and they choose the wrong items. Okay, knowing how to choose the correct items for Facebook is essential, in my opinion. Okay, so don't just go and splurge everything on Facebook. And then Google shopping for me is one of the best ones that I can possibly teach you about today. So let's recap. Okay, so step 1, we went through products, what you sell. Yeah. Step 2, we went through people, who you sell to. And step 3 was promotion, so where you sell, which advertising platforms you use. So these 3 steps could make a huge difference in your life. You're literally 3 steps away from having an asset that you can make money from by selling products, okay? Building an asset you can sell. So I've sold stores for, I think the last one was £63,000 after being open for just 12 months, okay? So you can sell these stores for a huge amount of money, okay? And you remember Gymshark, okay? So they're now worth 1.3 billion, and all they've done is a lot of marketing and advertising. Okay, you could be the next Gymshark. Let's see. So by learning this skill, you can also sell those skills and that service to other businesses and build stores for a fee. So who would like to see a system that you can use time and time again to make yourself a pile of cash anytime you want? Hands up. Anybody alive in the chat box? Oh, there we go. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Ian. So during this webinar, I've given you a lot of great information. Hopefully, it's going to start you on your journey to learning more, okay? But if you haven't done this before, it can be a little overwhelming. Yeah, okay? So what can you do about it? Is it okay if I show you the fast and easy way that I think to make all of this happen to you? Let's have some hell yeahs in there. It's not a Sunday, is it? Oh, well. So let me introduce to you the remote control cash system. Okay, so you're going to receive step-by-step instruction on exactly how to get this system up and running and making you sales. The great thing about remote control cash is that you will be able to build and run your own online stores to provide you with an income all year round. And when I say stores, it's a little bit addictive. So you'll build one store, get that running, okay, that sits in the background and does its thing. then you can build your next store. So I always tell people your first store is never your last, okay, because it's quite nice to have several different stores. I have stores where I turn them on and off. So I've got a Christmas store that comes out for about 2 or 3 months of the year. I have a Valentine's store that I run for about a month. So there's loads of these different ideas and ways you could get your stores up and running, and you don't have to run them all at the same time. So here's a remote control cash system. I'll stop waffling. So the package today is 6 webinars. So webinar 1, product selection, how to do this correctly. Webinar 2 is where to source the best products to sell. Webinar 3, building your first store step by step. Webinar 4, finishing your store and going live. Webinar 5, promotion, how to decide your marketing strategy, what we've just been talking about. Webinar 6 is paid advertising, Facebook and Google. And we've got 2 bonus webinars as well. Okay, so the total value of this is 1997. This is what this course is worth. Now we have a mastermind bonus sessions. So we're going to have 8 exclusive platinum mastermind group sessions. So these are weekly online meetings. You're going to meet other students, and we're going to build a supportive community and give everybody a big cheer when they make a sale, okay, when their first dings of joys come in. And then we're going to have Q&A sessions. Okay, so this is a value of £97 times 8, so 776. Now, we're also going to give you 3 Zoom personal one-to-one fast-track sessions. So that's 3 coaching sessions with me personally on a Zoom. You can ask me anything you want. I can have a look at the store. I can have a look at your niche. We can discuss whatever you want to discuss. And I can give you, ideas and tips for you to help get you on the road. Okay. Plus, we're going to have the 8 weekly mastermind sessions. So that's a value there of 1067. So here's what you get. So you've got 8 webinars, 1997. You got 3 personal Zooms, which are trust me, all my students love their personal coaching sessions with me. Okay. And you've got 8 weekly mastermind sessions, which I've spelt incorrectly. First person to spot that. And that's a value of £3,064. So does this system work? Yes. Okay. Even in these uncertain times. Okay. So these figures, remember, even in lockdown, it works. Okay. So that was the £7,392. That was in one day. Okay. Now, just believe me when I say this little store had nothing to do with any COVID supplies or anything like that. Okay. It was a little store in a little niche. This is from one tiny store. So imagine if you got lots of little stores and little niches, you could do the same thing, couldn't you? Bonuses. Okay. I want to reward you if you've already made your mind up, because you are also going to get access to these awesome bonuses. So bonus number 1 is my Rolodex, I think I've spelled this right, of every service, app, supplier, tool and shortcut I use for my business. So this cheat sheet of the tools and services I use every single day is going to save you time and money. Okay, so I've tried to test and tested a ton of apps and services, and I'm going to share with you the best ones I've found, which are mostly free, to help you get more sales and streamline your efforts. That's a value of 197. Bonus number 2, my Facebook ad swipe file. So you're going to get a PDF with all of my best performing Facebook ads and strategies, which you can copy and paste and start using to make money. Okay, this is going to shortcut your way to producing brilliant ads which convert. And that is a value of 997. Now, I'm still using these ads, by the way. They're not just things that I used 3 years ago and you've got them. No, I'm using these ads every single day and they're still bringing me money. That's why it's valued at 997. Bonus number 3, okay, you get to access our vault of Q&A sessions, plus access our how-to videos. Okay, so we've actually got 12 months worth of recorded Q&A sessions now with our previous students, which I think you're going to find incredibly useful. So you can watch discussions about every single module on the course. You can see how other student shops and courses, you can see, get me teeth in, other student shops, and you're going to access our how-to videos, which break down every single part of the process. And that's a value of 197. Now, here's what you get. So you've got 6 webinars, plus the 2 bonus webinars, 1997. Got 3 personal Zoom sessions with me, 291. 8 Q&A sessions, 776. Rolodex of services, the Facebook ad swipe file, and the 8 months of Q&A sessions. I'm getting excited here because I know what's coming up. So that's a total value of 4,455, right? Hold on there. You're going to love this. Oh, I can't wait. Can you do it another way? So here's an example of comparisons, right? If you wanted to buy a complete online shop, the minimum cost would be around $3,997 for a full turnkey solution. This is what I charge for a bare bones basic shop, okay? And you're still going to have to learn how to run it. So if you went to somebody to build you a store, they ain't going to train you on it. They're not going to show you where to get your products. They'll build it for you, and it's up to you to do the rest. So that's going to be a $3,997 cost if you were to try and do this by buying a full turnkey solution, okay? Trying to figure this out by using free information from the internet. So this is often outdated and simply won't work now. You need relevant information for today's markets, okay? You're probably seeing a ton of courses out, and I can tell you, I have used and bought every single one out there. If I see a new course, I buy it, I try it out, and if there's anything I can learn, fantastic, I pass it on to my students. Most of the time, they're teaching you how to do drop shipping from China, which does not work in the UK at all, okay? And the reason being, who wants to wait 6 weeks for a birthday present or a Christmas present? Nobody. So don't do the Chinese things, okay? Or you could spend years learning this information, just like I did, spending hours and hours on the computer and still not getting the results. And this is going to waste you time and money in the long run. So there is no comparison, okay? But you're not going to pay that much today. Here's why I'm going to give you an amazing offer today, because I want your success story. Okay, so your success is my success, really, and I want your testimonials. I'm looking for people to partner with me and spread the word. Okay, and I want to build the best e-commerce training platform on the planet, and I want you to be part of it. So if you want this, head over now. For today only, it's going to be $997. Okay, now there is a link. I'm going to put a link in the chat box now for everybody. Hang on a second. So let me just do this. Told you I'm not the cleverest of humans when it comes to technical stuff. So here is the link. So just so you know, the course is called the Remote Control Cash Course. So this is a slightly different link. The tiny URL is if you're typing it in manually, okay? The link that I've just shown you, the Ecom Academy. Ecom Academy is the academy that I run, the e-commerce academy, and this is a place that we will run all the courses from. So Remote Control Cash is the product, and the Ecom Academy is our platform that we use to sell courses. Okay, so for today only, it's going to be $997. Now, oh, lost me clicker. I would head over there quickly because there's something really good coming up. So you get instant access to the full course and all of these bonuses, but this is the part I'm really excited about, okay? And I can only take 20 people for the next bit. So head over quickly if you think you want to get into this, because I'm going to give you a mega bonus. This is something I've never done before, but I think you're going to absolutely love it. So the mega bonus is going to be worth another $1,997. If you join now, you're going to get access to our brand new Christmas Cash Challenge. What does this mean? So we're going to do 8 live weekly lessons, and this is going to be a fast track to success this Christmas season. So when you join now, okay, you get access to the course, which is already online. So you can go as fast or as slow as you want. But if you want to go quickly and you want to get in on this year's Christmas sales, and trust me, you need to do it now, join me now, because we're going to do this live, okay? So you're going to get 8 live weekly lessons. You're going to get lessons which are specifically designed to get the most out of the holiday season. Now, there are a couple of key dates you need to bear in mind, okay? The key dates are obviously December the 25th, when the big man comes, and December the 18th, which is your last posting date, okay? So December the 18th is an important date. And then we have got, I'm just trying to see where it is now, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that's another important date we want to hit, because there's a huge amount of sales to be made here, okay? It's a massive amount of sales that go on that weekend. And if you can be in there and ready to go, and honestly, you need to be set up by probably the second week of November to cash in on that, okay? So if you want to act quickly, get in for that bit of the year and the Christmas time of year, you're going to have to act quickly. Okay, we're going to aim to get every single student making sales by Christmas. So who wants to do that? So the Christmas Cash Challenge, okay, week 1, we're going to give you winning and proven niches to get sales this Christmas season, as well as a list of winning products plus suppliers for each of those niches. Okay, of course, you can choose your own, but I'm going to give you a list of niches that I think are going to do really well this Christmas. So, and a list of the products that I think will go with these niches to make that a Christmas you don't forget. Week 2, we're going to be doing a special store building session. This is going to be an extended session. And by the end of the session, your store will be live and ready for sales, okay? Week 3, we're going to do an advertising setup. We're going to do Google shopping ads, okay? This is essential that we get this done in week 3 because Google takes a little while for it to warm up and learn what your store is all about. And so if you leave it any later than that, you could possibly miss that Christmas season, okay? So week 3, advertising setup. Week 4 is your Facebook page and ad setup. Don't worry, if you don't like Facebook, neither do I. However, it is one of the most brilliant places to advertise, okay? I'm not on Facebook personally, but I advertise like crazy from Facebook. Now, week 5 is going to be designing winning ads, okay? So I'm going to give you $1 million copywriting and design secrets and your Black Friday sales strategy, okay? So we're going to put everything together. You're not going to have a hassle of trying to think of different ads. We're going to show you how to do it. So we're going to take ads apart, show you how they're done and why they work, okay? Week 6, we're going to do really simple video ads, okay? Don't get put off by this. You don't need a video camera, I promise you. Easy and quickly build video ads for YouTube and TikTok to drive free traffic, okay? Week 7 is going to be results week. So we're going to take a deep dive into Facebook and Google results so that you can tweak and refine your advertising efforts. And week 8, we are going to announce the winner of the Christmas Cash Challenge. So this is where one of you is going to win your joining fee back, okay? So the person with the most sales by week 8 will win their fees for the course back in full. Okay, that's my Christmas present to you guys. So the more effort you put into this and the faster you get going, the better the chance that you're going to get your fees refunded in full. Okay, so what else have we got? I'm really excited about this, by the way, because this is a completely new standalone course that you're getting included in that 997. So the bonuses for this course, oh, I get excited about these. So our festival season blueprint, okay? So you're going to get a roadmap to your success this Christmas with key dates and targets to keep you on track, okay? You're going to get social media posts. So we're going to give you seasonal posts so that you can save time on your social media marketing. This is going to drive you free organic traffic to your store and build your presence and brand online, okay? We're also going to give you proven niche and product selection. So we're going to give you winning niches, products and suppliers that you can use for your own online store. And we're going to give you exclusive ad creation strategy. So you're going to learn the anatomy of award-winning ads and copywriting techniques. This is something I've never, ever taught before, and I can't wait to do it, okay? And we're going to give you the simple video ad creation, plus you're going to have the ability to win a professionally designed video product ad by an award-winning commercial TV director. And you're going to be so excited to learn who this is. And I'm not going to mention Blue Peter, but anyway, so there we go. Yes, you're going to get the chance to win a video product ad by an award-winning commercial TV director. Who wants to be part of this? Okay, so this could be your fast track ticket to success, okay? Your golden ticket. So this is hands down the most comprehensive training on the market today. And I know, because as I said, I buy and test out every single course on ecom available. It's my job and it's my passion to teach this to as many people as I possibly can. Now, personally, I've spent over £30,000 and 7 years learning, testing out and building stores so that you don't have to, okay? So this is me. My Christmas present to you is me giving you everything I know, and I won't be holding anything back because it's my mission to see you succeed. So what else can I give you? Okay, well, there's a 14-day risk-free guarantee. Okay, so I'm going to let you try the system out. You're going to see the full system. Okay, we're not going to start the Christmas challenge until next week. It's probably going to be on Saturdays 9 till 10 before the Saturday school, so you still get a chance to do the Saturday school. If people need a different time, everything's going to be recorded. Okay, so if you can't join us live, that's fine. Everything's going to be recorded. You can send me questions and I'll answer them as best I can anyway. And we're going to have these Q&A sessions as well. So 14-day risk-free guarantee. So if you are not happy within that 14 days, if you give me an email, send me an email and I will refund you in full. Okay, if it's not for you, you might as well try it out, because really, what have you got to lose? So we have got a £6,452 value. Okay, so let me just run through everything you're going to get now. 6 webinars plus 2 bonus webinars, 3 personal Zoom sessions, 8 mastermind sessions, the Rolodex of services, the Facebook ads swipe file, the Q&A session vault, and the 14-day money back guarantee. Plus, I haven't even started on the Christmas cash challenge, which is 8 live sessions plus the original 8 webinars. You get all that package. 3 personal Zoom sessions, 8 mastermind live sessions. We've done the Rolodex of services. I'm just reading this out. The festive season blueprint that you can use, the ready-made social media posts, the exclusive ad creation strategy, the simple video ad creation, and you can win that video ad. Plus, if you sell the most things, okay, and you send me a screenshot of your sales and you happen to be the person at the top of that list, you're going to get your course fee refunded. So you really don't have much to lose here, guys, do you? Okay, so not 6452 today only, it's 997. You need to go to this address here. So you can either do copy and paste tinyurl.com/remote control platinum, or let me just put the, hang on a second, let me just copy and paste back into here. There we go. So if you go here, so that's the ecomacademy.kajabi, that sends you straight to that offer as well. Okay, so guys, what else can I do to persuade you to come and join me on this journey? Okay, it's only 997. You've got all of these things plus the Christmas cash challenge. Okay, and if you're not sure right now, let me just hand you over to a couple of students of mine and you can see what they say. So here's what students have been saying about the course. My Shopify career is coming on in leaps and bounds. One of the shops I built is now making sales of 10,000 a week. A year ago, I'd never even heard of Shopify, and now, thanks to you, it's become my way out of this COVID crisis and full-time job after I was made redundant last year. As you know, I love designing and building Shopify stores, so I now do this for others too. I've got 2 projects completed and live, making me both a design fee, and 2 more currently in discussion. Dave P. Who wants to see Dave's store? Does anyone want to see Dave's store? I'm not going to show you Dave's store unless you say yes in the chat box. Okay, right, here's Dave's store. So this was March the 1st to April the 6th, 2021. Total sales, £80,731. Okay, so as you can see, Dave's doing all right, isn't he? Returning customer rate, 54.9%. I think you can say Dave's doing all right. Let's have a look at Jay. So Jay says, I can't quite believe I built my first online shop in such a short time. The course is really easy to follow and Elspeth explains things at a great pace. It's not just hype, it really is as easy as the introduction says. I can't wait for my first ding of joy. He's had his first ding of joy a long time ago and he's got several thousand more dings of joy since. Okay. This is one of our superstars, Neelam. So Neelam says, hi Elspeth, it's going great. I did £1,000 of sales in the first 2 weeks in the store. I've decided to go down the route of building the stores and selling them as I realised there are a lot more people who want to buy them. And I put my store onto the marketplace and have had 6 different offers on it. So I've sold it for £500. So that's the very first store. She did this in the first 2 weeks of being on the course, Neelam did. So she went through the course really quickly. She started creating a store. She put that store immediately for sale and she got it for 500 quid. And she's building new ones at the same time as I realise I enjoy building more than managing. So there's another way, another good reason for you to jump on this now. And this is Cliff. Cliff decided that he was going to do a coffee shop. Okay, so he has built his online coffee store. So Elspeth's enthusiasm was just the inspiration I needed to set up my first online store. Her course helps you develop a strategy for yourself which gets results. Not only the technical side of things, which isn't much to be fair, exactly, but also several tried and tested methodologies from developing products, thrillers and fillers to placing the correct ads in front of the right demographic on the best platforms to get sales for your products. Okay, so let's just go over exactly what you get. You get the 6 webinars, the 3 personal Zooms and the 8 mastermind sessions, the Rolodex of services, the Facebook ad swipe file, the Q&A session vault, and the completely new Christmas cash challenge, which is the 8 live sessions. You get the mastermind live sessions as well. Okay, we give you the festive season blueprint, the ready-made social media posts, exclusive ad creation strategy, simple video ad creation, and win a video ad. Okay, and win your money back. So, anybody else? We've got Craig. Craig says, hi Elspeth, just wanted to drop you a quick line to say how grateful I am for all the webinar course info. Concise, precise, informative, and even occasionally amusing. Yeah, thanks, Craig. I'm learning a lot that I didn't know and learning even more about what I thought I did know. Keep up the good work. This is a godsend for me and mine. Last but not least, I heard of the concept of running this type of online shop, but had absolutely no idea of where or how to start. I'm a freelancer with a fluctuating income and have been desperately looking for another flexible income stream for some time. It's been so great to get creative again and use my imagination and energies to build something that I can call my own and will generate some income when it's time to go. Rebecca M. Okay, so just a quick last thing I'm going to say before hopefully Claire's not fallen asleep. It's just $997, guys. Okay, you get all of this. This is the biggest value package that I've ever put together, and I'm hoping that you'll join me for festive fun starting now. Okay, so when you get in there, when you buy this, when you click the buy button, you get access to the old course, which is still relevant today because it's everything I teach. Okay, but you're also going to get an email in the middle of the week inviting you to the Christmas Cash Challenge, and we're going to start all of that from next week. So I can't wait to hear from people. I'm just going to have a look in the chat and see if we've got any Q&As. Hang on a second. If I can find that. I don't know where it's gone. Let's have a look. So Claire, have you seen any interesting questions?
We've got a few. We've got one about how many days a week do you think you'll need to do this?
Well, I started out literally doing it with, I used to spend 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week. I used to spend a weekend, so 2 hours every Saturday afternoon. I started this. This is me learning from scratch. So most of the time, I think if you could dedicate yourself a couple of hours a week to get this up and running, you'd have it up and running fairly quickly. Okay. The reason I'm doing the cash challenge is to get you up and running really, really quickly. So what I do is on the webinars, the live webinars I teach you how to do this. You can follow along as we go, okay? And then you might need to spend another hour actually implementing it after that's done, okay? The more time you can spend on it, the faster you go. So there's no reason for you not to go faster than the webinars that we do, because you've got all of the information in the course that's already up there. So it's entirely up to you. Realistically now, okay, once it's all set up, then I spend probably 20 minutes a week per store. That's it. So that's it. It's just getting to that point will probably take you a couple of hours a week. So it doesn't take long at all. You know, this is why I love this business, because you can just set them up and keep going as much as you want.
Okay, we've got another question from Louise, and she says, it sounds brilliant, but South Africa is still not great with online shopping. Have you had any South African students, and what has their success been like?
I have actually had a South African student. So it depends on what you want to sell. So if you, here's the thing, you don't have to sell just in your country. So if you wanted to sell in the UK, for instance, which I think is a great place to sell, the only thing a business from outside of the UK needs to do, and check with me on this, you can find all the information online, is you need a VAT registration number. You need to register for VAT, okay? And then you can sell online in the UK. So have a think about that. You could also sell directly into the USA as well. You can sell worldwide. There's nothing to stop you. The only thing I say is it's great if you can. And I've had Australian people, New Zealand people, Saudi Arabia people all asking the same question. They're all on the courses. How do I do this in my country? Well, the answer is it's global. You don't have to just sit in your own country and do it. I say try it in your own country if it's possible, because you know what the postal system's like. Okay, so that's the only caveat. But if you're in South Africa, online stores, it's not going to sell. Just have your store in America. This is virtual drop shipping. You can do anywhere in the world. So yeah, go for it, Mrs. South Africa.
Thank you. And how about what are import restrictions, Brexit? How's that affecting dropshipping stores?
So I tend to import I don't tend to import anything. Okay, so for the UK, all of my products that I sell in the UK are based in the UK. All of the products that I sell in the USA are based in the USA. So you don't ever deal with those. I've tried this with Chinese suppliers, and trust me, you just don't want to go there, because the hassle of importing and all of that stuff, I'm not interested in it. I've done it, I got burned, and I'm not going there again. Okay, so you don't have to do anything that involves importing and exporting, none of that. I teach you how to source locally. Okay, I think that answers your question.
That's that one. Then there's a couple of questions about the Christmas challenge. Are previous students able to join the Christmas challenge?
If just give me an email, because I'll probably know who you are. Give me an email and I will give you the details of how you can do this. Okay, that's the easiest way.
And do you offer only the Christmas challenge bonus as an only?
I'm selling the whole package, because I think most people, if this is a previous student, as I say, just give me a quick email and we'll try and sort something out for you. Okay. But I'm selling the whole thing as it is, because if you, for instance, so we're doing this live, I also want you to have access to the full course, because if you want to go faster, you can. Okay. And if you decide that you don't want to stick with the Christmas challenge because, I don't know, you don't have the time, which whatever, you can then just keep on with the other course and do it in your own time. So if you really don't think you can do the Christmas challenge, that's fine. You buy the course, you're going to have access to both. So what you could do is you could go at your own pace for the online course that is now. The Christmas Cash Challenge is also going to be recorded and put into the same membership website. So you'll have access to both. So this means that if you didn't want to do the Christmas Challenge this year, but you want to do it next year when you've got a store up and running, well, you can, because all of the content's going to be relevant for every single Christmas. So this is a thing that you can use every Christmas.
Excellent. Thank you. Right. Is it possible to pay in 2 installments?
Do you know what? I've actually got a multi-pay install where you can pay in 3 installments if you fancy. Let me just put that link into the chat. So if anybody wants to pay in 3 installments, I think it's $397 each. Okay, that goes over 3 months. Let me see if that works. Hopefully. Okay, so that's the 3 pay. 3 pay. I'll just put that in there. There you go. So hopefully you can, if you're on the fence and you're unsure, do the 3 pay, have a look at it. And as I say, it's a 14-day money back guarantee. So if you have a try of it and you just don't like it, it's just not for you, online shopping is not for you, that's fine. Just give me an email back and I will just refund you. Okay. But, do have a look at it, because it might just be something that gets you to the place of, like Claire says, attracting more money into your life, attracting more good. It's one of those things that it's not that difficult to start up with, and you can start changing your life for the better. Because like you said, Claire, you have to do things differently to get to a different place. This is what I did. This is the one thing that I did when I was sitting on that kitchen floor in 2016. I realized I had to do something else to change my life, and I did something slightly different than I usually did, hit a button, and my life changed for the better from then on.
Excellent. That is what we need, button pressing. So Ian says what's holding him back is not knowing right now what his niche will be.
Right, this is absolutely fine, because the very first module, which you can access right now, talks about niche selection. Okay, so I go through this. It doesn't matter what you choose as your niche, if you can choose something that you have a vague interest in. So there's two ways about choosing niches: something you know something about, always the best way; something your spouse, partner, or children know something about and you're kind of involved in it; or go and learn about a niche you do want to get into. Because I've done that several times over, where I've gone, well, I want to get into this niche, I know nothing about it. Just go and do some research, go and see what other people are selling, go and look at other people's stores. Okay, as long as you know vaguely what they're selling and why and to who, you will understand the process. So don't worry about the niche selection. I can always jump on a Zoom with you and we do the niche selection process. And that's probably one of the easiest ways to do. If you've got 5 different niches, just choose one of them. It doesn't matter. You can build other stores later. Okay, just find the one that excites you now.
Excellent advice on that one. Simon says, when do the 8 mastermind sessions take place and how long do they last?
Okay, so they're going to be an hour long and they are going to start next Saturday. And I'm going to do this 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, as much as I possibly can, which means that Saturday school, you're still in time for Saturday school. Okay. Now, if you can't get to it at that time, and there could be a couple of Mondays where we move slots, that's all. Everything's going to be recorded and it's going to be available as soon as we can possibly get it into the membership site. Okay. So you're not going to miss out on anything. If you can't attend in person, that's absolutely fine. You're going to get exactly the same information if you go and log on to the membership site and you can access those sessions. Okay.
Excellent. So Lorena says, what if customers want tailor-made items or clothes? What if the shipment is delayed?
Well, here's the thing. The way I teach this is make it easy for yourself. Okay. So, excuse me, I'm just going to cough. If you already have a business, okay, which is selling tailor-made clothes, and it sounds like you might do, that's fine. I show you how to get that business online. Okay. Now, if you have an item that it's going to take more than a week to get to the customer, that's fine. You just tell people, as long as you can be upfront and honest with how long it's going to take a customer to get their items, they will be happy with it. Okay. There's loads of different things you can do to pave that way. If you're just starting out and you haven't got your online tailoring, I would have a look at the course, because I'll show you much easier, quicker methods of getting up and running. You can sell whatever you like. I just show you a very fast way of getting up and running and making sales. Okay, so the way I started was my very first item that I sold. I had a store with 3 items in it, and they were all handmade jewelry. Okay, so it was necklaces. So they were like, a few pounds each. And I was getting somebody else to personalize them and send them out to the customers. So I started really small. That one online store now, that was the store. I started with 3 different necklaces. That was the store that made me all of that cash that you see on the slides. Okay, so you start small and you expand. And it doesn't really matter where you start. You can always make it bigger.
Excellent. Right, we have to go through these because we have instructions. We should finish by 1:30.
Okay.
We've gone along. I read that email. I was like, make sure you finish by 1:30, and we've gone completely against that. So there are payment plans, Sam. So definitely you can do that. I think you shared the link to the payment plan. It can be in 3 stages. Yeah. You can help people who are setting up from scratch, can't you?
Absolutely. It's with, I start with the basis that you know nothing about anything. That's it. If you've got a laptop, you can start this. What I would say to people is it's hard. You can do it with an iPad, but it's harder. Okay, there's some of the apps that we use that'll make it really quick for you will not work on an iPad. So that's why I say if you've got access to a laptop or a desktop computer, things will go a lot more quickly for you. That's the only thing I would say.
Okay, and can you buy the course now, and will you provide support next year?
So what we do is your 3 Zoom sessions, okay, we use within the first 3 months. And this is because I take on sets of students that I take through the 8 weeks. Okay, and we all go through it together. So what I try and say is use those 3 Zoom sessions in the first 3 months if you possibly can, simply because it means that I've got time to dedicate to you specifically. Okay, if you try and use it, in 12 months time, then I might have too many people to accommodate that need. So if you wanted to buy this and use it next year, say, you've still got access to absolutely everything, and I'm only an email away. So don't worry about, getting in touch and making sure that, you can do things. And we could probably come to an arrangement with that as well. If you wanted to buy this now, get in now and start next year, then I could probably slot you in on the course next year so that you can do it in the time that you need to do it. Okay, so if you're dithering about it, do this. I'm going to tell you now, this 997 is going to go up to 1997 very shortly. So if you do want it now for that 997, simply because I've got 2 courses there that are both worth 1997 each, and this whole package will eventually be 1997. I'm pretty guarantee it's not going to be the same price next year. Okay.
And what about the ongoing access to you? Kevin's asked, are there updates for life? And after the video sessions are finished, what's the ongoing access to you?
So I've got students from 2 years ago now who still occasionally email me, still get involved. If they want to come and jump on the Zoom sessions, they can. So I'm pretty flexible. I want you to succeed. Okay, that's my main objective. So, whatever it takes for you to succeed, if you need to email me and ask me questions, to be honest with you, it's a pretty comprehensive course. Okay, so most people find that the 3 Zoom sessions and the Q&A sessions, if they get involved, and ask those questions, then there's pretty much everything is on that website. So on the course, there's also how-to videos. There's a ton of things where, we've done Q&A sessions on every single topic. So there's loads of help available within the course. But yeah, reach out to me. I'm not some, I don't know, some person in a high castle anywhere. I'm always available.
Okay, that's good. And there was a question about profit margins. What kind of profit margins are you working on?
Okay, so it varies. Okay, so I have a thing called thrillers and fillers, and I teach you how to look at a store, and you're not just going to look for massive profit margins on every single item. So the minimum margin I work to is 30%. Okay, so if I sell something for £10, I probably made £3 on it. Okay, or £4 on it. So I work at 30%. So I mark everything up by at least 30%. However, the caveat to this is if you find you can work with, say, a wholesaler or a manufacturer, and they give you, often their discounts are about 30 to 50%, right? So, you're not tied into thinking only of massive profit margins. I've got an item that I buy for £49 at the moment. I buy it at £49 and I sell it for £149. Okay, so that's a massive profit margin. So it just depends on the items that you're looking at. I always say to people, try and find thrillers. These are the things that, your standout products on your store that you can make a decent amount of money on. So I teach you how to do things like find items where you're not going to make much profit, but it'll draw people in. So a bit like, when you go to Tesco's, okay, and you take your trolley and you've only come in for a packet of rice, okay, and you end up with 15 other things in your basket, right? So you've gone in for the rice. The rice is probably costing Tesco's, it's only going to be like 30p from Tesco's. They're probably losing somebody on that, but because you've gone in there and you're buying other stuff, you can increase that profit margin. So that's what I teach you, how to do the things where you will have, like, you might have a loss leader even, where it might cost you a few pence to get a sale. However, people will actually fill those baskets up. So I've got one product. Okay, I make 50 pence on this product. It's not even going to ever make me any money decently, but I get 50 pence per product for this one product. I can guarantee that the order value on that will increase by at least £30. Okay, because of the way that I display this item. So they come in for one item and I know that they're going to go out with 2 or 3 items. So I teach you loads of different strategies to do this to make it work for you.
Right. Okay. So we've got a little bit of issue with the payment link. It's not accepting the postcode. So
right. So it might do the thing that you have to look at. So the United. So it's, I think the default, because it's Kajabi, the default country is the United States. So try clicking on the button where it says country and click onto the United Kingdom. Okay, if you have a problem, just email me. So if you do remotecontrolcash@gmail.com, let me just type that in here and I can help you out. remotecontrolcash@gmail.com. Okay. If you email me there, then I can answer any of your questions. Okay, so just send me a quick email, tell me the issue and we can sort it out for you. So don't worry about that, okay?
So
Fantastic.
I think we're going to wrap this up in a minute. There was some question about tailoring the offer because they only want promotion and Christmas challenge, but I imagine it's such a good offer anyway.
This is the thing. I mean, both of those courses are worth 1997 on their own, and you get both, okay? And what I would say is, for long-term success, okay, you don't just want the Christmas challenge, you want both anyway, because there's some things on the original one that I'm probably not going to get time to teach all of those things on the Christmas challenge. So they're massively complementary to each other. So that's why I'm kind of, thinking actually you do want both. The Christmas challenge you can use anytime, any other Christmas if you don't want both. And the other course, it complements it massively. So because we are just doing these 8 sessions live, I'm probably going to point you to the other course as well for some of the things, just so you can go back over and have a look at, and see how we do things and why, the theory why we do it. That's valuable as well. So I'll be doing is dipping into that other course as well while I'm teaching.
So the course starts on the 23rd of October, is that right? And ends on the 11th?
That's correct.
Yeah.
9 a.m, 9 till 10 a.m. And if you missed that, don't worry about it because it'll be posted in the members area just shortly after that. Whenever Zoom give me the link, I can upload Excellent. That video for you.
So that's that. And one final question. Lorena's had to go. Bye, Lorena. And Ian says, what's the running time of each course? I guess it varies, doesn't it?
What's the running time? So I'm going to try and keep everything to an hour in the Christmas Cash Challenge. Yeah. Okay. The other course, the modules tend to be around an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much detail I go into. It's designed for complete and utter beginners to get up and running as fast as possible. So on the main course, it's me trying to explain all of the theory and the why I do things like this. I can teach you, it doesn't take long to teach you the step-by-step ways of doing it, but knowing and understanding why you're doing something, I think is very valuable, which is why I want to keep both of these courses together, because it just gives you an underlying theory of why.
Excellent. Well, yes. So you don't need to be technical. It's for beginners. It's for experienced. In fact, it's just awesome all over. That is how we're going to wrap it up. Thank you. If you have any questions, the email is remotecontrolcash@gmail.com. Remember the payment options as well, which make it really good. And the thing is where you invest in yourself, then that's where you get the results. And you need to work with Elspeth because she's done it already. Yay. It'll take you so long to figure it out yourself and you won't do it as well. And she can save you time, money, and all the good stuff. But you need to put the work in, as I was telling you all before. Consistency, turn up, say what you're going to do. So exactly. Yes. So that was amazing. I think
Thanks, Claire.
We completely went across all the rules and we carried on.
Yay, regardless.
That's what we do. And you're going to do some speaking later, aren't you? I think I saw you on the screen.
I am, yes.
Yeah, I did my slot already this morning, so
fantastic.
I'm done, and you're later. Right.
Can I just say, guys, I'm so excited about this Christmas challenge. Honestly, I can't wait because I think it's going to blow your minds. So there you go. I'm going to go.
Blown minds. We're going to have blown minds. That was awesome. Right, excellent. Everyone's happy. Everyone's now going to go. I'm going to lie in a dark room now. 4 hours of Zoom. But yes, excellent. Well, you're going to get some emails, Elspeth. Show me the money, Ian says. Show me the money.
I can show you the money in your bank account, Ian.
Yay, she can. Then you can have, what was your dinging thing called? Dinging.
The ding of joy.
Ding of joy.
The ding of joy. Ding.
We all want the ding of joy. Right, that's it for Saturday School this week. I am not on next week. I know it's always me, but next week it's not me. Although I never say never. You never know. In fact, I think it's Ben Brophy next week. So join Ben and somebody else incredible next week. Have an amazing weekend. I don't know where to look. There you are. You're on my screen. And thank you, Elspeth, again. And I will see you next month. I'm glad you enjoyed the session, Maria. And yeah, buy everybody who stayed on to the end. You get a special star for staying to the end. Anyway, take care. See you all next week and have a lovely weekend. Bye.